Our problem has been, as black people, we've always been concerned about white America, never about us. And what we've always thought is that white America equal the same interest as us. That is not true. We must now be concerned with us. Let me give you some examples. We always want to prove what good Americans we are. The very first man to die for the War of Independence in this country was a black man named Crispus Attucks. Crispus Attucks. He was a fool. Because here he was dying for white folk freedom, and millions of his brothers were enslaved in the very country. Oh, but we wanted to prove what great Americans we were. We begged the white folk to let us fight in the War of Independence, and they said no. So we organized ourselves in bands of armies, training ourselves with our bare foot to prove to the white folk what great Americans we were. Please let us fight, white folk. And finally they came and inspected our troops and said, good niggers, you can fight. And they had us fighting the Indians. Like fools, we should have teamed up with the Indians and take care of you know who.
Welcome, man. It's another edition of Gilly Speaks, man. And man, like today, man, I ain't trying to hold y'all long, but I think it's gonna be a pretty good one, man. We're gonna be talking about the rising tensions in American politics and society, and why it seems that I don't know. To me personally, it seems that black people are being asked to separate themselves from the worst of their people, even though it strategically isn't the best move for us. Meanwhile, American politics is grabbing in and bringing in as many of their people as they can. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter if they're a staunch racist. We'll support you. We'll give you millions of dollars. Oh, you a babbling redneck? Let's give you a platform. You know what I'm saying? Hot tour girls and all, bro. Like, wow, we living in this world of double standards. At some point, man, somebody got to call out the hypocrisy, man. And that's what I'm here to do, man. Before I get into all that, want to go with a little breaking news, man. Not really breaking news, but Missouri and Kentucky have been ravished with many of many tornadoes, man. Tornadoes have pretty much been ripping apart parts of Missouri and Kentucky right now. And it's looking very bad, bro. It's looking very bad for that place right now, man. I'm finna pull up some images. Uh and then we're gonna look at a video talking about it, man. So just give me a second, man. Prayers for many other people, man, going through this shit right now, man. It's wild. It's definitely wild. You know what I'm saying? I want to say it done got to a point where it's like 20 some people, you know what I'm saying? Are being, you know what I'm saying, presumed to be dead now after these tornadoes have hit. So let me share my screen so we can show the image of some of this devastation, man, right now. As you can see, man, look like a whole neighborhood torn to shreds by a tornado, man. Here, let's make that a little bit bigger. Oh man. I wouldn't even know how to feel about that, man. Cause this right here, man, is a tough situation. That, you know what I'm saying? Natural disasters in general are very hard to overcome a lot of times. Cause it means having to rebuild from scratch. And insurance, a lot of times you might get some insurance that can cover it. But if you in low income, you know what I'm saying, impoverished areas, you probably don't have the same insurance that other people have. If you have insurance, let's be honest. And it's a bad situation, man. But let me go and pull up this NBC News report, and then we'll get and I can give y'all a pretty clear update on what's going on so far. Okay, NBC News, man. By Dennis Romero, Mirna Ala Sharif, and Kristen Rapp. Um, At least 21 people were killed when severe weather, including possible tornadoes, swept across Missouri and Kentucky from Friday into Saturday morning. Authorities said 14 were dead in Kentucky. Governor Andy Beshear said on X Saturday morning. Sadly, this number is expected to grow as we receive more information. He added. Laurel County, Kentucky. Okay, Laurel County. I thought that was the damn name at first. That shit got me. Laurel County, Kentucky. Sheriff John Root reported numerous severe injuries. He said a tornado touched down late Friday night, and that and that's the thing about this weather, bro. Like this shit happened late at night. My bad. I'm gonna continue to read it, but when we all sleeping, man, you just never know if you're gonna wake up, bro. Like, I mean, that's a scary thought to think about, especially for the rational man living his life feeling like, hey, I ain't doing shit to nobody, I'm taking care of myself and different things like that, man. Like, it can literally be gone in an instant, and it ain't gotta be nothing that you did. It could just be nature. It could just be nature, man. So every day that we above that dirt, like my nigga Coach Dude used to say, it's a blessing, man. So stop all that stressing, man. Real talk, bro. Stop all that stressing, man. But it's real talk, man. Okay. So yeah, it said touchdown late Friday night, and that the search for survivors has continued. In Missouri, 5 were killed in St. Louis County and 2 others in Scott County, according to officials. At least 38 people are reportedly injured in the city of St. Louis. Mayor Kara Spencer said in a news briefing Saturday morning that the number is expected to increase. Mm. Spencer also said that severe weather has affected around 5,000 buildings in the city. Our inspectors in the area, St. Louis is already a place where it's a dying city. I ain't gonna say a dying city, but it started to decay in as far as its infrastructure. It's not really being upkept as much as what I'm saying, other cities in America, what I'm saying? It's like, what I'm saying, it's right there. Then, it's got the crime problem that everybody loves to talk about St. Louis and how niggas out there shooting and something. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's got a lot of different issues going on in St. Louis. This is not something that I think St. Louis was expecting or wanting. And it's definitely going to cost the city a lot. But let's continue, man. Yeah. Hope everybody out there blessed, man. Hate to be the bearer of bad news, so to speak. And if anybody is from St. Louis and it is coming across this, man, prayers to you, man. Shit, if it's any information that you want to get out to the people, man, feel free to comment, post it, share it, tag it, whatever you gotta do, you know what I'm saying? To get that information out there, man, and I try to get it out there to the people, even though, ain't many niggas watching me, you know what I'm saying? But I do my part, man. I try to do my part, man, for the people out there, man, if I can. Spencer described the devastation seen around the city as tremendous. I would describe this as one of the worst storms, absolutely. She said, the devastation is truly heartbreaking, and let's not forget, people have lost their lives. The spokesperson for both St. Louis Children's Hospital and Barnes Jewish Hospital. I didn't know they had it. See, and nigga, I be talking about niggas, bro. You ain't never seen no black hospital, but I ain't know, my bad. My bad. We ain't gonna go there right now. Said that the facilities have received over 60 patients in total, with Children's Facility getting 15 and Barnes Jewish seeing around 50 to 60. What? Like I said, I received over 60. Okay, my fault. My fault. You know, like the numbers wasn't adding up. That shit about 75 to 65. But three of the children's hospital patients have been admitted, with two in critical condition, with while all others have been discharged. So prayers for those two children that's in critical condition right now. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that everything works out with that situation. Some of those at Barnes Jewish were admitted, but most have been discharged and will be discharged soon, the spokesperson said. Fire Chief Dennis Jenkinson said severe weather hit about 20 square blocks of the city. St. Louis police spokesperson Mitch McCoy said search and rescue operations were carried out with the help of the Missouri State Highway Patrol and surrounding county first responders. It's all hands on deck to rescue as many people as we can and save lives, he told NBC affiliate uh KSDK of St. Louis on Friday. The station reported that a man was rescued from the rubble of his house after a hours-long operation. The resident was most likely smashed by the tornado or severe weather associated potent winds in the area Friday, the station said. Considering the building collapsed on him, he's doing great. Yeah. If you're alive after a building collapses on you, I think you're doing pretty fucking well, man. I don't know. Because, yeah, you could be, like, just in a coma. I don't know how great that is. I mean, it's I guess it's better than dead, but I don't know if you would necessarily know the difference. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, that was what I was seeing a lot of on social media. Was the shit happening with St. Louis? I didn't even really know it was Kentucky until I, you know what I'm saying, started reading the article and shit like that. I mean, not this article, but an article before I actually got on here. Cause I mean, I picked this article because it was a little bit. It was the last one I actually seen before. You know what I'm saying? I got live. Really, if you want to just be honest about it. Okay. The man sought shelter in the home and ended up stuck inside. Yeah. Shit. Coverage from the region included imagery of a decimated Harlem tap room, a historical bar on the city's north side that had been at the same location for roughly 80 years. And that's just what you told you, you know. So you got buildings that, you know what I'm saying, probably haven't been kept up to date in the city for a long time that just probably blew right away. And it's most likely going to be the historical shit, man. A witness who was in the bar told KSDK that a fellow patron warning and the establishment's flickering lights preceded his move, and that others there in the rear of the building, which he said likely saved their lives. So if they hadn't seen all the flickering and shit, and another dude hadn't said, "Hey, the shit is coming," hey, we might have, you know what I'm saying, lost more people. You know what I'm saying? Utility Spire Energy, which serves 1.7 million customers in the region, said there's severe damage to homes. Video of damage showed toppled brick walls, down tree limbs, and power lines in the region. Nearby city of Clayton said that its city hall is closed as it coordinates to respond to the severe weather. In Scotts County, Sheriff Derek Whitley said in a social media post that 2 people died in the devastating tornado. The tornado moved from the eastern part of the county, leaving behind a trail of destruction, with multiple homes completely lost, areas left unrecognized, he said. On Saturday, Kentucky had more than 99 customers in the dark, according to the utility tracker Power Outage .us, with a further 84,000 across Missouri. That's a lot of people without power right now, man. They literally probably went to sleep. Like, you might have known the weather was going to get bad, but you didn't, necessarily think those shit was going to be out. So if you did go to sleep and wake up and you see the shit tore up, or you was woken up by the tornado tearing shit up, you know what I'm saying? It's probably, hey man, I know that's just a hard little situation to come with, man. I'm expecting it to rain down here for the longest, but it's not. It hasn't been, man. Which it's ironic, man, just because it didn't rain to this weekend, but it rained when I had to drive to Dallas both times. I'm like, and the first time it was really raining, boy, I'm talking about. Hate being on the highway when you barely can see the road, man, because it's raining that damn much, man. You never know, like, man, some storms be, the winds be, you know what I'm saying, a certain way, but then, you know what I'm saying, feel like it's really blowing, but to you it's not, it's not really blowing, man. Not to you, but like in reality of like the strength of the storm, it's probably only blowing about 10, 15 miles, 20 miles per hour or some shit. But it don't take much, though. It don't take much to get some shit, you know what I'm saying, tearing down and trees falling and, man, all that shit. And rain, period. A whole lot of rain, definitely, you know what I'm saying, flood risk and shit like that. But that tornado was never a good thing, man. And, you know what I'm saying? I'm in a place where tornadoes definitely hitting this area a lot. Seems to not necessarily ever directly hit my city, even though it says hit it before. And some people say it's hit it even closer. I mean, it definitely has hit in Titus County, but for some reason it kind of always gets around Mount Pleasant, man. And hey, I'm just thanking God for that one, because, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you never know. You never know, man. Yeah, but let's go ahead and play some of this video right here that I'm queuing up for you as they explain the rest, because I'm done reading this damn article.
Trying to protect property. I'm going to introduce Mayor Kara Spencer to introduce everyone else and to give us an update. But after Mayor Spencer, Governor Mike Kehoe will provide an update, along with Fire Chief Dennis Jenkerson, Police Chief Robert Tracy, and then United States Senator Eric Schmidt. Please keep in mind, things are still rapidly evolving. We actually just got an update a few minutes ago that we're still trying to gather details on. I anticipate that at some point the city of St. Louis will be providing later today to provide even more information. So in the meantime, I'll introduce Mayor Kara Spencer.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. I just want to say we are obviously still grieving. The governor and I just got done surveying some of the hardest hit areas here. The devastation is truly tremendous. We've also we've gathered folks here today, but as I said, we are just a city that's really grieving. We know as of right now, the death toll is unfortunately at 5, but we know that that hasn't changed since last night. That's a good thing. We know that as of right now, this morning, 38 people have been reported injured. We do not know the severity of those injuries, but we are continuing, as Mitch pointed out, really focusing on lives, saving lives, and making sure that we are protecting lives moving forward. I want to give a huge shout out to our first responders who have been around the clock since this started at 2:30 yesterday afternoon. There has not been a break in the response and the focus truly on making sure we're keeping people safe here. Many people worked throughout the night without a break, and they're still here this morning. Thank you. A few updates on city services. We, as you know, declared a state of emergency last night that really propelled all of our city services to be on point. City forestry, cutting down trees, getting the streets passable was our first priority. They did an enormous amount of work, parks, forestry, all of those city services, ensuring that first responders and residents could get through our streets. Thank you. Disaster recovery, debris removal has been a big part of that as well. After clearing streets, our priority number 2 is traffic signals and making sure that we can get people safely through our streets. We know that the devastation is truly tremendous. We are estimating right now about 5,000 buildings have been impacted. And we do have our building department, our inspectors are out there making sure that we are first and foremost assessing the damage, to be condemning buildings and moving through demolition and other security as we go through this. Ameren and our other utilities, I see representatives here. They have been on point helping make sure that we are taking down lines. There are still lines down. We just got down, taking a survey through. We know that they are working around the clock to secure those downed areas, those down utility areas. As we move through into recovery and the part of this operation that will be assisting residents, we are going to be announcing in the coming hours resources. We're gathering. So many people and organizations throughout the region have been offering to step up. I know many of those of you watching want to help. We will be providing paths to do that in the coming hours as we get that organized here today. I'll turn it over now to the governor. Thank you so much. I want to say the governor of our state, Mike Kehoe, flew in this morning, has been on point providing resources from the state and making this just a really, truly united front here. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Unfortunate to be in my home city under these circumstances, but I was on the phone with the mayor within the hour. Our state emergency management agency was in contact with her emergency managers, both here in the city and in the county, within the hour. Deployed multiple resources through SEMA up to the state, including several urban search and rescue teams. There's 5 in the area, 3 in the city. Missouri Task Force 1 and their 84 members were deployed and arrived on scene last night around midnight. We've had several fire search and rescue teams that are deployed from community fire districts that have come together here. We're putting all hands on deck to make sure that we can assist the city and local authorities as much as possible. Obviously, Missouri State Highway Patrol is on scene as well to assist in any way that the chief needs help with. I would echo the mayor's response or comments that our first responders, both in fire and police, have been incredible heroes in this moment. And this is when you really see the goodness of Missouri, when you see these men and women step up and help their friends and neighbors that they've never met, just try to restore some essential services. I've been on the phone this morning with the CEO of Ameren, Marty Lyons. He is working on updates on restoring power. I know that's a big issue next to public safety, obviously, is also restoring power. They're making some inroads, but the devastation is incredible. Pole damage is unbelievable. He is providing and getting resources from as far away from Kansas City with Evergy, who has sent crews overnight to help him, along with other municipal-owned utilities, as well as our electric co-ops, providing inventory that they need, transformers, poles, alignment if needed, et cetera. So those coordination efforts are going on. Assessment team here in the area already. supplies out of Springfield, as well as other NGO, non-government organizations that our SEMA office, Melissa Friel, is coordinating. And last but not least, I'm thankful that our representatives are
Was muted the whole time. Prayers to all the people affected by the situation, man. We finna move over to another subject of the day, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, prayers for Missouri and Kentucky, man. They definitely going through some shit right now, man. So, man, we're gonna play how these people feel about these black graduates, man. You know what I'm saying? As some people may know, I have mentioned it on another live. My wife graduated college last weekend, man. It was definitely a beautiful thing, man. On the 9th, you know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? She graduated the last Friday. Not this last Friday, but the Friday before that. It was a beautiful thing, man, to see my wife's hard work pan out and work, man. And though it doesn't, do the dance and shit like we gonna see here, I definitely think how people have turned, you know what I'm saying, just anything that black people do into a point of criticism is just getting way too far, man. These are black graduates we're gonna hear this man talk about, man. I just want to say that before, just to preface this. This is a black niggas that graduated college and shit, but let's go.
Everybody's so wrapped up in this Cassie Diddy, DDG, and Halle bullshit, and I'm so tired of seeing it. My algorithm put me on Madison Prep graduation, because, baby, they showing their ass. They are showing their ass over there in Baton Rouge. Shout out to Madison Prep, man, because they over there doing the boots on the ground.
Guys, this was ghetto as hell. The Madison Preparatory Academy out there in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana, and I've been to Baton Rouge before, and I ain't never seen nothing like this. This was ghetto as hell, and a lot of people were defending it, saying that, oh, they're just having fun. They're just being kids, so on and so forth. And some other people, again, mainly black people, were denouncing this. So I was proud to see some of that in the comment section, but it's disgusting to see people like congratulate or encourage this activity. That's why stuff like this happens. And I think it makes the community on the whole look bad, because when you got people literally shaking their rear, some of these people are probably not even 18 years old, and they shaking a booty at a graduation, when a graduation is supposed to be formal. It is supposed to demonstrate you're transitioning from being a child into a person who's moving into adulthood, ready to take on the world. That's what a graduation is supposed to represent. So yeah, they're supposed to be a little bit professional. Like they don't have to be super uptight like some of them, but this was just off the freaking, it didn't make no damn sense. It was off the Richter scale. It was crazy.
First off, who the fuck said that it got to be this formal? Bro, this shit is you completed high school. Nigga, there's so much more to life than high school, man. That's some, you know what I'm saying, basic level shit, bro. Like, this is supposed to be you transitioning from childhood to adulthood. Really, nigga? Really, nigga? For some people, man, they had to get into adulthood way earlier, man. How many motherfuckers are taking care of themselves by the time they graduated high school, had their own shit, and all by the time they graduated high school, then how many people still ain't got shit at this point in time right now? And they my age, 32 and up and shit. So I think, man, you supposed to enjoy your graduation. You supposed to turn up. Yeah, you supposed to dance. You supposed to shake your butts, nigga. You know what I'm saying? If that's what you want to do for completing your shit. But let's go back and look at the video real quick a little bit more. I want to go back to some of the clips. Well, he might play them again. I'm gonna let him go ahead.
Easy, let's get into it. Wow. Bro, they literally are barefoot.
Most of them people jigging though. They're not even.
You know, a lot of people say black folks act like animals. What do animals do? They go around barefoot. This is crazy. Some of them got shoes on. So a lot of them don't. And what I'm trying to figure out is like, was this like planned? Like, where's the administrators? Where's the people with the little, I forget what it's called, the little microphone that amplifies your voice? Where the hell are those people at?
But most of them kids jigging, which is a part of the culture. Talking about he ain't never seen that before. Let me know everything about this nigga. I'm just saying.
Wow. I mean, they doing flips too. This had to be planned to be allowed. Like everybody just kind of standing there watching. And I feel like this is my honest thoughts on this stuff, guys. I'm not going to finish watching. There's like a bunch of these videos because everybody and their mom posted them. They recorded from their cell phone or whatever. Guys, the adults, like the real adults, like people who've been out here in the world, they should feel ashamed of themselves for allowing this to happen, because we all know that for every action, there's a consequence. There's people that judge. They know that there's people that judge. They know that there are differences between being white, Asian, Black, Native American, Indian in America, men versus women.
So I already pretty much say that, man. He pretty much want to play the respectability politics and, convey the right imagery, act accordingly in certain things, and say like, Black spaces should be, you know what I'm saying, I guess, framed around looking a certain way for others not to perceive us as such. I don't know. That seems like some bullshit to me. But I don't know, man. What y'all think, man? Should Black folks be dancing when they graduate and stuff like that? Like, is this a new trend that they're gonna do at every successful event? Are they gonna turn up and jig and shit? Like, I want to say this is also specific to really like Louisiana, especially like Southern Louisiana culture, man. Bounce music and jigging and all that stuff, man. That's a Pacific thing that probably isn't gonna happen at every uh black graduation. Like at my wife's graduation, it was one dude that was doing some stepping. You know what I'm saying? Because step culture is a big thing in the South as well. You know what I'm saying? Fraternities and sororities, being a part of step teams and shit. But I don't know, man. What y'all think about that, man? Should we be dancing at these type of things? Should we be turning up? Especially old girl, one girl, she did turn up, she bent it over and it was bouncing that thing, man. And I would definitely say that's inappropriate. To go completely bent over, just, you know what I'm saying, twerking that thing at a graduation is very wild. At the same time, I mean, I don't know. Who are we to, you know what I'm saying, say what's sacred when ain't shit been sacred for black folks, man? We've been separated from every damn thing and told that, hey, don't come in this space unless we hand pick and one of y'all motherfuckers and allow that shit to happen. Like, it's not gonna be all of y'all trying to force y'all way in or whatever, how they look at it, forcing our way in, even though their own people are also like, hey man, we seeing how this shit is, and yeah, we need to include everybody, bro. So it's an internal fight amongst black folks and white folks, and not black people in general, like they own people, and then white people and they own people, and then we got the conflict amongst black folks and white folks. So it's definitely a complex situation. But let's watch a little bit more of this shit. Hear some more of his perspective, man.
There's opportunities for everybody, but there's also stereotypes, there's assumptions made, and stuff like this further perpetuates that, because I feel like almost the community is devolving into like just being silly, just goofy, just ghetto as hell. You know, I try not to use the word ghetto all the time, but I mean, what other word is there to describe it than people just going up, and one chick literally just bent over and started shaking her ass again. Looked like she could be 17 or 18 years old. And nobody says anything, nobody does anything. It looks like this was like planned almost, because no administrators are doing anything. Nobody's trying to stop them. So it looks like this might have been planned for them to do from the start. It looks like they even had like the DJs playing like black music. Guys, I understand that we don't want to live in just some uptight, cold society where everything's just so boring and so formal. But this is just ridiculous. At the end of the day, school is a place where you're supposed to be formal. There's graduation ceremonies, there's after parties, there's receptions and stuff like that. It makes a lot more sense. I mean, you could have ghetto parties. I mean, I don't have a problem with ghetto parties. I've attended ghetto parties, but not in a situation like this. It was never like this. I graduated high school and college, and it was nothing like this at all. I found a website here. Now, I don't know, niche.com. I'm not super familiar with this site, but I just decided to take a look to see what things were like. So Madison Preparatory Academy, 37% state test scores. Percent proficiency. This is the percentage of students that scored at or above proficiency levels on their state reading, language arts assessment tests. 37%. Okay. 27% proficiency in math. So you're at less than 50% of the students. Average graduation rate, 95%. So majority of the kids.
But that ain't necessarily because they jigging either. You know what I'm saying? And that's the problem with people conflate things. You know what I'm saying? You see people celebrating the fact that they can graduate. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. But the reading scores and all that shit, that's based on the people. You know what I'm saying? It's based on the parents. It's based on the whole community. Social media age, and we're not picking up books anymore. Everything is in front of a screen. I'm on a laptop looking at my phone. Got 2 phones in my pocket. Like, this is the age of information. You know what I'm saying? And who wants the fast information? You know what I'm saying? Reading ain't got to be comprehended when I can get somebody to tell me everything. And that's what's so crazy is that, you know what I'm saying, people rather getting secondhand information from other people instead of going and getting to the sources yourself and reading that shit. Even the ones that can read. Come on, let's talk about it, man. Reading is a lot less in society, period. Ain't nobody writing their shit out and putting it in an article so somebody else can read it. He on social media right now helping perpetuate some of this problem. And because I think this, like I said, it's bigger than just kids ain't or whether dance at graduation than whatchamacallit, learn read and math. I'm gonna let him continue because he's definitely on to something. You know what I'm saying? This is a point that's definitely should raise eyebrows right here.
Kids are graduating. You only got 5% of the kids not graduating, and the vast majority of them can't read or write at state level. That's not good. I mean, I give them props for pretty high SAT scores and ACT, but also bear in mind that it's not a requirement to even take the SAT and ACT. So probably like the top students are taking SAT and ACT, but in terms of overall, they're not even doing good. I mean, kudos for graduating. It shows 95% of the people graduated. I guess that was the 95% of the people we saw dancing. But guys, they got to do better than this. How is the community ever going to improve if every stupid thing is just embraced and embraced in more and more places? I mean, they try to shame you out of not appreciating stuff like this. But no, I think that there's something to be said about decorum. You think that people watching across America are going to respect these kids? No. You think people watching across the world are going to respect these kids? No. And look, you can see what professions they want to study: nursing, business, biology, psychology. Would you want any of those people? I know they haven't been to college yet, but people are going to judge. Would you want any of these people as your nurse? They're going to be in the middle of helping somebody with a surgery or something, or helping you in a life or death situation. Somebody might get bored and start playing some ratchet music, just break out there, just start going crazy. No, I don't trust people like this professionally because they abhor professionalism. They hate professionalism. They want to be ghetto and ratchet. And even if it's a celebratory moment, you can say, well, that's just one moment. How are you going to judge them? Of course, people judge you off of one moment. Nobody knows your life history. This is stupid. It's foolish. It shouldn't have happened, guys. I don't like this. I don't like it one bit. I'm hoping that this is just like a one or a few places doing this ghetto-ness, this hoodness. But this is pathetic, and it doesn't make me have much respect for the students and the knowledge they gain, the professionalism that they're about to get into, the world that they're about to get into, because this is just a bad look. And the adults there, the people who allowed this to happen, should absolutely be ashamed of themselves. I'm not even trying to be on a high horse. I'm just keeping it a buck. These are just my thoughts, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly. Rise! I'm out.
So we hear how you feel, man. I definitely feel like he has some points. I don't know if every moment does require us to go into party mode. I don't think we got a party, you know what I'm saying, every time we, you know what I'm saying, or we can always leave the party until, after the ceremony. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I'm not knocking these kids for feeling good about graduating or none of that shit. Most of the kids was just jigging. I can't say the girl that bent over, I could see that being a little much. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say a little much. It was a lot. But most of the people hitting their jigs and shit, you know what I'm saying? If they're allowing the third person to jig, I don't see what's wrong with anybody jigging. At that point, you can't say what's too much when it really comes to dancing outside of, the twerking, the bending over and shaking that thing. You know what I'm saying? That's definitely, you know what I'm saying, like, should be against like school conduct, I would assume, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, like I said, Louisiana different, man. This is just one place. You know what I'm saying? It's not like this is every black graduation across the country And that's why I think the misconstruing is coming in, as if like we just we just turned the, hey, this is how they doing they shit. But man, most of us do not have the gall or the audacity to get out and dance in front of some people, man. You see the clubs. Ain't nobody dancing. You people standing around looking at each other and shit. So I do think that this is being a little bit overblown. But yeah, man, we finna get on to some more topics and shit real quick, man, because I got a couple things I still want to talk about, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about some hypocrisy. You know what I'm saying? Because Fox News, man, they still want to talk about old Sleepy Joe, man. I think we all tired of hearing about Sleepy Joe. If you're a Fox News watcher, because I'm not necessarily a Fox News watcher, but I do tend to use a lot of their clips because they tend to be the ones reporting on the crime and reporting on everything else at a consistent basis. Or at a highlight. That's like it's like they highlight is, you know what I'm saying, crime and shit like that for the most part, or anything going on with the left. And today they target, like most of the last, you know what I'm saying, 4 or 5 years, it's Joe Biden, man, and his I don't know, cognitive dissonance. I don't know, not cognitive dissonance, but like cognitive decline. You know what I'm saying? It seems like he's lost plenty of steps from the point that he was the vice president back in 2008 to 2015. Well, 2009 really to 2015.
And a Fox News alert for you. Newly released audio of Joe Biden's 2023 interview with special counsel Robert Hur, shining a harsh light on the president's cognitive ability as he struggles to speak and even remember certain key dates in his life. Watch this.
And what's happened in the meantime is that Trump gets elected in November of 2017, 2016. All right. So, why not 2017 here?
Here to discuss is co-founder and president of Real Clear Politics, Tom Bevan. Tom, we've read the transcript in the past, and it reads badly. It sounds to me far worse.
I agree. I mean, the audio is always worse than the transcription. Video is usually worse than audio, but we don't have that. But clearly, I mean, this just shows another example of, remember when this report came out, how Robert Hur was attacked. And I know someone who knows Robert Hur who said this guy has a sterling reputation, and they attacked him, they smeared him, and they kept this from the American public. The administration, kept this audio from the American public. And it's just another example of how we were lied to. Everyone's calling this a cover-up. It wasn't a cover-up. We all knew it was happening. This was gaslighting of the highest order by the administration and the media, who in large part went along with it all the way.
You know, Tom, what strikes me here, at least in part, is the timeline, because this was an October interview that happened in 2023. And then the debate, the famous debate with Donald Trump, happened in June of 2024. That's a long time in between. The report from her was put out during that interim. And as you said, people jumped all over him. The Democrats, the media, just savaging Robert Hur, his reputation, his integrity, pillorying him. And then the debate happens, and they're all like, whoa, we had no idea that this could happen. Who is this man? No, they all knew. And anyone who is privy, certainly, to a moment like the October 2023 interview, or many other instances like that, Tom, had already seen that Joe Biden for years.
That's right. We've got reporting going back as far as 2020, or maybe in some instances even before that, showing examples of Joe Biden's decline. And what's most infuriating about this guy is that you know, and I think everybody who's watching this show knows, had Joe Biden not fumbled so badly, not failed so badly on that debate stage, the charade would still be going on. The media would have, and he might have potentially won. He could be in office right now. Given these circumstances, they would still be lying to us. And by the way, even after he dropped out, he was the president of the United States for 6 more months in this condition. So I keep saying this. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say this is probably the greatest political scandal in American history, certainly of the last 50 or 60 years.
Man, they are wild for even saying that. The biggest political scandal, and we just got reports that Donald Trump trying to accept the damn plane from Qatar. Well, 400 million or something like that dollar. I don't know. I might be tripping. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that bullshit. I mean, that's nothing. I mean, Trump has been doing some of the wildest shit, man. This man got $600 watches. You know what I'm saying? He got a motherfucking cryptocurrency. You know, hey. Yeah, we done heard Trump, you know what I'm saying, say and babble some shit, and we done definitely seen him have some cognitive decline himself. But just the pure corruption, we talk about political scandals here. Not even talking presidency, you know what I'm saying? We hiding the president is having a decline. That's not really a political scandal. That's literally what we've done in our history. I want to say Woodrow Wilson was sick and shit, and his wife had to, you know what I'm saying, run the country. And I think that she was low-key running the country like in secret, like people knew, but it wasn't like the public knew. Franklin D. Roosevelt, that type shit, man. I want to say he was one that had got sick during the presidency and wasn't physically running the show for a little while. So the fact that they're making it seem like this is just some unprecedented thing that has never happened. We never covered up the fact that a president is not all the way as sharp as he's alleged to be. That's just wild to me, man. Because most people are not, you know what I'm saying, learning history and studying and shit like that. We'll let them say that shit right to our face like we just some dummies. Like it's not all people, because of course it's people that definitely know. Okay, we're gonna go and get right on this right now.
It is in this form, certainly, and great to see you. Appreciate your work.
Hey, I appreciate your work as well. Thanks so much. No, I was just laying out for the viewers at home there, and they're
Yeah, this is Senator Scheif or whatever. I don't know how to fucking say his name. Talking to Jim Acosta live, man. If they talk about Trump's latest scandal, real quick, that was, you know what I'm saying, completely ignored when they talked about the biggest
chiming in. They're giving their comments as well. This is a slightly different experience than your typical cable news interview, so we'll get some feedback from the viewers out there. But I mean, I think we should just get right to it. I mean, you know, Trump's trip to the Middle East has really put his penchant for corrupt authoritarianism on display. And I was talking about the Air Force One gambit. He obviously wants to take this gift from the Qataris to the tune of $400 million. And I understand you're requesting that the Department of Defense's Office of Inspector General launch an inquiry into all of this. What can you tell us about that?
Well, they've already acknowledged that when they did their legal analysis, and of course here we're relying on the incredibly independent, objective analysis of Pam Bondi, but they've even acknowledged that it would be unlawful, unconstitutional for them to accept this aircraft, this $400 million gift from the Qataris, if it went directly to the Trump Foundation. So they want to launder it through the Defense Department, which doesn't make it any more legal. It just pulls the Defense Department into this scheme to enrich the president. And so what I want to know from the...
So, you know what I'm saying? He wants to make it look like, all right, this is our plane. This is the Air Force One plane, but it's going to go to my Trump library whenever everything is said and done, once I'm out of office. $400 million plane, gold-plated walls and shit. And people acting like, man, oh, it's all good, bro. It's Trump, baby. See how luxurious this motherfucker is, man. It's great. I'm telling you, Fox News. I'm going to show you how Fox News covered that plane situation. You know what I'm saying? They ain't covering that shit the same way. I'm telling you, they ain't talking about how much of a scandal this is.
From the Defense Department is a number of things. First of all, what is this going to cost taxpayers if they have to somehow retrofit this aircraft, if they've got to go through and extensively debug it, make sure that there's no electronic surveillance, if they've got to bring it up to the standards of an Air Force One and all the rest of that? What's it going to cost the taxpayer? How long is it going to take? If this isn't going to be ready for a couple years, it means that basically Trump is going to get this aircraft on his way out the door. And it's really about just the private use of this plane by the president. But also, what is the DOD doing to protect themselves from being a party, willing or unwilling, to this graft, this scheme? What does it mean also for our national security? Because the Qataris aren't stupid. They want something for their $400 million investment. If it were just a nice gesture, Jim, as the president likes to claim, they would have given you the plane, or maybe given, off the street the plane. No, they gave it to the president for a reason.
Right. And to me, I mean, the question I wanted to ask today is, what is this? Oprah, you get a plane, you get a plane. I mean, apparently Kristi Noem, the DHS secretary, wants her own new plane as well. That's been coming out in the headlines today. And you mentioned Pam Bondi, the attorney general, signing off on this. I know that you have chimed in with a tweet about a story that was in ProPublica in the last 24 hours, talking about how she sold between $1 million and $5 million worth of shares of Trump Media the same day that Trump unveiled his tariffs. I mean, the larger picture here, and I've been talking about this on my show, is that, they're just doing this in plain sight, just acts of blatant corruption. And the question has to be asked, what can be done about this? I know Democrats are in the minority in the Senate, over in the House, difficult to hold hearings, but is there any way to shame these Republicans into holding some hearings here?
I think there is. In the near term, probably not to the extent of holding a whole hearing on it. But nevertheless, confronting our colleagues here in Congress with just the blatant graft and the danger that it poses, forcing them not to look away, can be really impactful. And to give you one illustration, I put a hold on Ed Martin's nomination for U.S. Attorney in D.C. This was someone with no prosecutorial experience, someone who was a stop-the-steal lawyer, someone who said we should go easier on people who beat cops, someone who was promoting avowed Nazi admirers. This is a partial list. And the longer we held his nomination, the more that we brought out to the public about his unfitness for office, the bigger a burden it became to the Republicans on the Judiciary Committee, to the point where his nomination went down. They knew that it wouldn't pass, and so they moved on. So it can have an impact. That kind of oversight is important. But I think it's even more important vis-a-vis the public. And because the numbers are so big with the Trump graft, it's hard for people to wrap their head around it.
Yeah.
Because it's out in the open, it's hard for the country to wrap its head around it. And in fact, the Trump administration is quite aware of this. The defenders say, well, it's all out in the open, it's transparent, as if transparent corruption makes it any less corrupt.
And that's the point. Transparency doesn't necessarily mean if you're too blinded by the fact that you think that Trump can do no wrong, does it matter that he shows you that he's corrupt? Because obviously you voted him in a second term after what we got the first term. Russian collusion. Oh, that's a hoax. You know what I'm saying? What about Hunter Biden and all that stuff? That's what they do. And so every time that Trump gets accused of something, he accuses somebody else of something. And all the right, only thing the right does is just go after that person. Oh, let's go after this person. Because, you know, at the end of the day, as these people are both, you know, and I mean people, I mean both sides of the political spectrum are doing their little thing. Everybody knows what people doing. It just might not be able to call it out in a direct way because they don't necessarily see it. But people talk. Like, it's just like being at a college. You might know what's going on at the college. You don't participate in everything that's going on at the college, but you know because you might associate with people here and associate with people there, friends with people over here, all that type of stuff. You know, you end up knowing a lot of things because you be around a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? And that's in any line of work, anything, people can know what's going on without knowing what's going on, and that's where Trump can call out some shit because he might have seen it. You know what I'm saying? You got to know this man was lobbying before he ever became a fucking president. He was lobbying candidates left and right, on the right and the left. It just shows you that shit. Man, this is all how can I benefit game. It's not about helping the American people. He be using that same lobbying power to bring certain laws and shit into the table that he, you know what I'm saying, that he wants to, you know what I'm saying, establish, man. It's been how many laws have been passed so far? Look at the graphic. This might be one of them. Let me look real quick and see if that's one of the. Nah, that's not the graphic. Hold on real quick. Let me find the other one. Five laws have been signed. It's a bunch of executive orders. A bunch of executive orders getting passed, man. And proclamations. A lot of that shit gonna be overturned with new executive orders if when somebody else come in. You know, and it all depends because you know what I'm saying. Is the American people gonna peep that they've been getting played this whole time, or they gonna allow themselves to keep getting effed over? That's the question. Because rural white Americans have been voting outside of their interests for a while, you know? Because when you label something a certain way, that's all it takes. Oh, Obamacare? I don't want that shit. The affordable health care, why they're getting rid of that? Goofies.
But to give you one other quick illustration, the Trump meme coin.
Right.
And this gala dinner they're inviting people to with a promise of access to the president and a White House tour. That meme coin, whether it goes up in value or down in value, the transaction fees all go into the pocket of Donald Trump. It's the most clear graft. But because this is out in the open, in a way, it's really hard for people to understand just how crooked a deal this is.
Yeah.
And I think people think, well, how is this gala different than a campaign fundraising gala?
Yeah.
The difference is this money is not going to some campaign.
Right.
This money is going right into Donald Trump's pocket. And I think we need to spell that out for folks.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time when we thought, gosh, when folks are doing obnoxious things for campaign donations, that was pretty bad stuff. And here he's just putting the money in his pockets. I mean, I've been describing it as sort of like those game shows where people run through the supermarket with a shopping cart and just try to pile as many goodies into the shopping cart as possible. That seems to be what he's doing with the White House and with the presidency. And it seems to me what you need is, you know, I've been thinking about, because, you know, lawmakers always come up with clever names for bills. You know, is there a way we can come up with a scam act Stop Corruption and Mischief Act and limit the president to just what he's supposed to get paid in office. I don't know. I'm spitballing here, Senator, but it just seems to me this is nuts, and it's almost whack-a-mole. Everywhere you look, he's trying to scam the public.
That's exactly right. And by the way, I like that idea for the title of a bill. I will
take
put
it.
an asterisk and give you credit for that. But the other thing is, and your comment about Kristi Noem and the aircraft, is perfect in the sense that they're all trying to get in on the act now. Everybody's trying to cash in. We have this, the real Secretary of State, Witkoff. Not Marco Rubio. He's got a very limited profile, but Witkoff is the real Secretary of State. His son is cashing in with the Trump sons, with a stable coin, another crypto venture that just got a $2 billion infusion from the Gulf. And everybody's cashing in. Pam Bondi's cashing in. Kristi Noem wants to cash in. And you know who we have largely to thank for this? A guy named John Roberts, who just happens to be Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, who gave Donald Trump immunity. You give a convicted felon like Donald Trump immunity and you make him president of the United States, and he's going to act like a crook with immunity, which is what he's doing. And the people around him, they know they're getting a pardon on the way out the door, so they're acting just as crooked as he is.
He's absolutely emboldened in all of this, and I covered him during the first administration. I think he's far more dangerous this time around. There's no question about it. You know that all too well, Senator. And I was having a conversation about some of this with Ruth Ben-Ghiat yesterday. And while it is kind of funny to laugh at some of this stuff because it's just so outlandish, there is a danger to it, in that as this oligarchy that Trump seems to be surrounding himself with, as they enrich themselves, it almost seems as though the circle can get bigger and more people can get sucked in and pulled in and enticed to join in on the corruption. And that might make all of these characters a little bit more difficult to dislodge from power. I mean, as they accumulate this and amass this kind of wealth, one has to think it makes them harder to beat at the ballot box. I wonder what your thoughts are on that.
Well, I certainly agree. And I think probably the case in point is Elon Musk. Here's Elon Musk, in addition to doing the Tesla showroom on the White House grounds, because the stock in his company has been in a nosedive. I think even worse, perhaps far worse, is as Trump has imposed tariffs on these other countries, they're coming to Trump to try to get out from under the tariffs, but they're also coming to Elon. And Elon is pitching them on his Starlink satellite system. And they recognize, because we see it in leaked cables, they recognize that one way to ingratiate themselves with the administration is to buy Elon's product. And so, Elon has the most patent conflicts of interest. And, they fired the head of the Office of Government Ethics, who would be policing this stuff. But you're right. And then Elon takes the money he makes from the sales of these satellite systems and plows it into the Trump political operation. After that Tesla showroom on the White House grounds, he put another $100 million into the Trump political operation. So if you're seeing ads, I'm seeing ads promoting Donald Trump. He's not even running for anything. This is the oligarchs propping up this corrupt president whose numbers are sinking. And they want to prop him up as long as they can because the gravy train is running and they want to get that gravy.
Yeah, it's almost like an SNL skit of a home shopping network, except it's all of Trump's corrupt schemes and scams that he wants to pull over on the American people. You mentioned the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Senator. I have to ask you about this very important case in front of the High Court today about birthright citizenship. It fits right in with all of these other, sketchy, unconstitutional things, dangerous things that he's been trying to do with respect to migrants in this country. Wanted to get your thoughts on that and whether or not the notion of birthright citizenship could.
Well, that's something we should be paying attention to, you know what I'm saying, majorly. The birthright citizenship shit is definitely going to hit close to home to everybody eventually, you know what I'm saying? Shit, because you don't want them people saying who's a citizen, who's not, man. Like, I don't, man. I tell you that now.
Could be in danger right now, which, I mean, that opens up a huge Pandora's box in terms of what can be done to migrant families, mixed status families. These are the kinds of issues that I've been focusing in on this program. A lot of people in your state in fear of this right now.
You know, it's difficult to extrapolate sometimes from the justices' arguments of whether they're playing devil's advocate or whether they're really the devil. But what I'm taking away from the coverage I've seen so far is a recognition that birthright citizenship is very clear from the Constitution. The Trump administration is not going to win on the merits. And so they're shifting to a different objective in that case. And the different objective is to try to strike down the use of nationwide injunctions. And of course, what that refers to is when something unconstitutional, like an attack on birthright citizenship, takes place, and you go to a court for relief, that court has the power to issue an injunction against deporting, for example, people born in the United States because they're citizens, and have that injunction apply nationwide. And what the Trump administration wants to do is they want to stop judges from being able to issue injunctions nationwide, even though they were thrilled to do it when Biden was president.
Right.
But
And
now
the court shopping that they would do and so on.
Oh, exactly.
And that's the hypocrisy of it all. He don't mind, you know what I'm saying, when the system works in his favor. When the system goes against him, hey, he doesn't like it. And that's the problem. Like, if we're gonna all try to cheat the system and we want to all cheat the system, you know what I'm saying, shit like that, well, then what's the point of having it? But to say Trump gets to dictate what the system is going to be and the right gets to dictate what the system is going to be from here going on forward, man, that's some shit we're going to have to, we might have to fight about that one, you know what I'm saying? Let's just be honest. We might have to fight about that one for real. I'm willing to be like, shit, I'm out there on it. You know what I'm saying? I got to be fucked up. Y'all going to just run the whole coup in this bitch and only one side gets to say what's right and what's wrong. Fuck no. But to piggy back past or you know what I'm saying, go to a different topic really. You know what I'm saying? The Democrats are under fire, man, for this whole Biden alleged cover-up that they talking about right now, man, that we were just watching, man. Let's go to it and see what's happening.
You noted it. I remember hearing it from you back in the day. Chris Murphy, Democratic senator, says, no doubt. He says there's a push forward as Democrats continue to be confronted about former President Biden's mental decline with a steady drip of new revelations on his condition coming to light. I want to bring in former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy on this. And Kevin, good day to you. You noted it. I remember hearing it from you back in the day. Chris Murphy, Democratic senator, says, no doubt. He says there's no doubt about it. The debate is whether it was enough that it compromised his ability to act as chief executive. Now, there's a bunch of books out there right now. Maybe there's more coming. Off the top of my head, I can't think of one, but perhaps that happens. At which point do Democrats finally shake this? Because it's just a cloud that's moving over them every day.
They're trying to ignore it. They're trying to say, oh, we're just looking forward. But I think the leaders that covered this up should have to resign. So that means Schumer and Hakeem should actually resign because they saw the same thing I did. And when I came forward with what was going on, they all attacked me. They tried to even do the cover up. Instead of just not saying anything, they attacked those who tried to tell the truth. And they allowed the country to be in this position. That's not a place for a leader to be.
My bad, man. Like, they allowed us to be in this condition. What condition, man? The condition we are under Trump? Like, we had a better economy last year than we do now. Like, and it's damn near clear. You know what I'm saying? The stock market, you know, it's back up a little bit, but shit is more expensive. Your dollar is worth less. You know what I'm saying? Like, and hey, it's probably gonna be that way no matter who was president. But as sharp of how things have changed on a federal level right now. Y'all should be afraid, nigga, because the states is just trying to jump right in, bro. Texas, my state, one of them. We got some shit to talk about with Texas, man. They trying to ban cops from, you know what I'm saying, being filmed pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Make it a felony to film a cop or disrupt, what they call it, disrupting a public duty or whatever, or interfering with a investigation, all them type of charges. They try to bump those to felonies. But we're gonna talk about that just a little bit later. You know what I'm saying? This right here, man, they know what the fuck they doing, man. At the end of the day, man, you take away some of these regulations, you make them real weak, man. You make sure everything that's gonna help with public services weaker, and then, you know what I'm saying, make everybody start putting more money into the private sector, man. Yeah, and why they eat, bro, they eat, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, go put your money in the crypto. Oh, Trump, I got a crypto coin. Oh shit, bro. Come on, man. This shit ain't no damn, hey, bro, it ain't rocket science, man. A nigga can tell a scammer from anywhere, bro. If you in the streets long enough, you gonna peep scammers. They a dime a dozen, man. And that's what I don't get about the American people, man. Y'all swear that these people, Democrats and shit, they some hustlers and shysters and shit, which a lot of them is. Let's be honest. And honestly, yeah, they did definitely try to act like Biden was just 100% all right. Man, everybody could see the man was declining, bro. But because they feel like the American people need somebody that was close to Obama, an Obama endorsement. You know what I'm saying? Man, we need somebody that's gonna get the fucking job done. That's what we need. If you're talking about any side of the party, we need somebody that's gonna get the fucking job done, man. Trump, you can say Trump has put his agenda 100% out there. And, you know what I'm saying, people acting like they didn't want this. Now that, you know what I'm saying, they seeing the real effects. But a lot of y'all dumbasses wanted this shit before. And I laid this shit out multiple times before the election. Like, this man is finna, you know what I'm saying, have everything costing more. You know what I'm saying, the rich getting more money. This big, beautiful tax bill that he's ready to, you know what I'm saying, unleash to the world. It ain't got nothing to do with your ass. No tax on tips is never gonna happen. No income tax is never gonna fucking happen, bro. He lied to you. Donald Trump lied to y'all dumbasses, man. Man. What's up with it, Joe Cool, man? But at the end of the day, man, let's look at some more of this, man, as they talk about Democrats needing to resign over Joe Biden's cognitive decline, man, which I don't even know why we're still talking about this motherfucker, but let's go.
When you can see what was going on in the White House, and Dana, you know this better than anything, that White House is a place that is humming. Under Biden, nothing. It is so quiet. And then when you had meetings with him, you had a different meeting every time. But there's times his mind was not there. That he led me into the swimming pool one time. Mm-hmm. Another time he was dazed that he saw his wife Jill. And why did Jill have to be in so many?
Time out, nigga. He led you to the swimming pool, nigga. Hold up, man. Biden trying to get that nigga wet, man. Get him for a little rubber dub or swim. How is Biden still a topic, man? Well, when you have a president with as low of an approval rating as our president we have today, man, you have to deflect. We was just talking about how Trump is literally on scandal number infinity with the Qatar plane bullshit, man. And people trying to, oh man, he's not getting it directly. It's going to use it for a government vessel, and then blah blah blah. Man, like all this shit is just, man, hey, smokes and mirrors, man. Fox will never, like I was talking about earlier, man. Fox would never cover, you know what I'm saying, Trump in this way. And we done seen Trump babble. We done seen Trump say some shit. We like, man, what the fuck this nigga talking about? This nigga literally swaying and dancing for 40 minutes on stage. Nobody on the right said one thing. They was just like, oh, Trump, look at Trump go. He does his thing. But when it comes to Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, any motherfucking Biden, you know what I'm saying? Any Democrat period, bro, it's gonna be oh, look at how they're doing this, or look how they're doing that, or look what. And that's why I say, man, this whole left-right shit is really what was fucking up a lot of shit, man, because I just want to see the best quality person do the job, man. Period, man. Like, I don't give a damn about it. You don't got to put no black nigga to make me feel like we got that shit with Obama already. Man, let's get off that shit, man. I ain't worried about ever seeing another nigga in the office because we already know that nigga is still a vessel of the state. So, like, can we get good qualified people to not put us in situations where the economy got to tank in order for some people to, you know what I'm saying, get money and profits and shit, or take over certain, you know what I'm saying, things, or shit might merge or something. Ain't no telling what was happening during all that stock market crashing. But just know, a lot of people got rich, and our ass is just, you know what I'm saying, shit get more expensive. Shit gonna get more harder to live. And that's the whole point of all of it, really, when it comes down to it. Because both of the sides play the capitalist game. Hey, let's win. Fuck everybody else. They don't know how to figure it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully they can figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And they really don't hope you figure it out, to be honest with you. That's the kick. That's the, you know what I'm saying, catch 22. They like, hope you don't figure it out, nigga. They'll give you the information. They feel like they obligated to give you the information because whatever, you know what I'm saying? Let's just say God. Because, you know what I'm saying, they just not as ruthless enough to, you know what I'm saying, they like gotta tell on the other side that's because both of them are fucking you. Long dick style, no Vaseline, no lubricant at all. But they gotta tell on each other. So that's how we end up learning the information of what's really happening behind closed doors. But yeah, because I definitely think Biden was on the decline before he got in the presidency and shit like that. I mean, I talked about it. I don't know. It's some video. I got 200 and some of them. So it's one of them motherfuckers in there that I've definitely talked about. Why the fuck would they just go with Biden, you know what I'm saying, and not, you know what I'm saying, go with somebody younger? And why isn't anybody like trying to have like the young guy? You know what I'm saying? What happened to us getting like the Kennedy type candidates? Like, why are we getting these old motherfuckers still? Like, that's one thing that I think Obama appealed to a lot of people is that he was a fairly younger guy. You know what I'm saying? He seemed to be more relatable to the youth. And the youth want to be represented, man. We've been seeing the elderly be represented multiple times throughout history. I think that the prioritizing, you know what I'm saying, just what people want right now is the biggest problem. And that can sometimes mean prioritizing what older people are thinking. Because a lot of times the youth ain't engaging in politics. The youth is not engaging in the market, the business world and shit like that. So they don't get to have any say so in most of these conversations, while more established people are, you know, peeping that shit and trying to figure out ways to take advantage. So that's the biggest one of my biggest points with all the shit that I'm talking about, man. We ain't seeing nothing yet, man. And the tensions between the politics side and then the social side is just, you know what I'm saying, throwing us off from actually peeping where like the real fuckery is happening at. Because, I mean, we can sit here and say, I mean, I definitely, you know what I'm saying, think white supremacy is a big part of it and all of it, you know what I'm saying? But, like, you got to understand how is it doing it, you know what I'm saying? Like, and what tools is it using? You know what I'm saying? And I think capitalism is one of the biggest tools of white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that I wouldn't want to make no money and get my bread up, because I damn sure do. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, I definitely know that it's gonna be at the expense of somebody at some point. You know what I'm saying? You know, I mean, like, it's going to be. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm assigning a value, or you know what I'm saying? I'm putting some value to something that somebody else is gonna have to do the labor to make that shit what it is. Where if we was like, let's just say we all workers and we mining a field or some shit, it's our labor that makes that shit what the value what it is. Some people don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Some people believe that it's all based on what a person says, you know what I'm saying, once they get the finished product, because they put the money into whatever and blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? But before we needed money to make anything happen, and people had to just do shit because we needed to make, you know what I'm saying, shit shape for ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Eat, sleep, whatever, houses and all that shit. And there wasn't no currency. You know what I'm saying? People just, you know what I'm saying, went and chopped down a tree. They didn't say, oh, whose tree is this? Can I buy this tree so I can chop it down? nigga, it was known like, hey, just don't use too much, man. Don't take too much from nature, but use what you can to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? Type shit. And that's the problem with the world now, man, is that shit. We feel like everything has to be commodified. Worse than racism is the commodification of, you know what I'm saying, every fucking thing. Even racism is commodified now. We see you can call somebody the N-word and get paid. We see you can stab a boy and get paid. And I know it's not the same thing. It's definitely not. But I'm just saying, bro. Like, one thing, like, it was this person I don't like the most, Charleston White. He made a fucking great point. It's so many organizations, grassroots out there that ain't nobody gonna donate for. What's up with it, my boy? Nah, hey man, you see I'm trying to do my thing in here right quick, man. Chill out, man. Playing right now, man. I'll play with you in a minute, okay? Go watch TV, man. Nah, take this, man, he can stay, man. All right. He'll be back. But this throw me off on my damn point, man. Children, man. That's what all right. But you gotta love them, man, because you gotta try to, you know what I'm saying, shape these ones to be a different way of thinking than what we are right now. What we believe we gotta pick a side. Yes, it's definitely a cute little puppy, man. Now get out of here, man. Puppy hurts. The puppy is not hurt, man. Take this puppy and go in there. Please. So, not right now, man. I told you this earlier. Now go. Go watch TV. I'll be in there in a minute, okay? I ain't even got that much longer left. But yeah, man, kids, you gotta love them, man. We gotta peep what's going on with the system and how they, you know what I'm saying, use us against each other. Though, you better stop, man. If I gotta get up, man, you already know. Open the door and get the dog tail out the door. And go in there in your room. Go. So yeah, I know. Go. Start slamming my damn door. All right, bye. Yeah, oh yeah, most definitely. Joe Biden showed some decline, man. And it's not that I'm saying that, oh, there was no fault in the Democrats in any of this shit. My thing is the shit that they bringing up, the fact that the video coming out, all this different shit, is more propaganda. And like I'm not saying, I feel like all the shit, like news is propaganda at this point. We were just talking about the natural disaster, and I was like, this is about the realest form of news that you'll get when a natural disaster comes and just in the like a thief in the night and just ravages the city or some shit like that. That's about as real as it gets, man, when it comes to news coverage and shit like that, because you can create a narrative, but you can't make the actual event just be it. You know what I'm saying? Like political news, man, like all these motherfuckers got an angle, all these motherfuckers got something to you know, I don't know. It just all of it just can be created in some kind of way to, you know what I'm saying, draw your attention here while they pulling your pockets and peeling your pockets here. What's up? I know. I mean, give me 30 minutes, okay? 30 minutes. Zozo. This nigga still closed the dog tail in there just to come back later. But yeah, man. It's awesome bullshit, man, to me. And that's why I feel like, you know what I'm saying, this political shit, man, the black fatigue shit, how it's coming at the point that it's coming in, all this shit, man. It's all psyops, man, to keep, you know what I'm saying, everybody looking in our direction, man, right now. Because black people has been seen like, bro, in the last, like, black people have always been discussed. But black people are getting discussed a lot more frequently. Before this, I was showing the black graduation and how the black people was dancing and shit, and what was it, Monroe Academy or some Madison Academy? I can't remember the fucking name, but they was out there jigging and shit, like Louisiana type dancing and stuff. And One girl even bent it over and twerked, which I definitely said was some wild shit. But the jigging part of it, I necessarily didn't have a problem with. And you know, people been calling it ghetto, and this is the reason why we never can get this and that, or this shit right here. We're in the, I don't know. Just start making this the reason why we in the situation we in, because niggas is dancing at graduation. Even though they definitely point out some nice statistics about the schools, the students being able to reach the state level in reading and math and all that stuff, and it's definitely small percentages, you know what I'm saying? Both under 40%. One was actually under 30% when it came to math. So it's like, shit. Yet, you know what I'm saying? 95% graduation. So it's like, damn, you pushing a lot of niggas through all that shit, man. And well, we all know that shit has been going on with America. No kid left behind shit. That was a Republican as well, you know what I'm saying? But, this shit was, you know what I'm saying, been a thing. And I want to say even before George W. Bush, it was been a thing that they've been trying to make sure they can get more graduates as opposed to actually figuring out a way to get these niggas to learn shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, we want more graduates because graduation don't mean shit on paper if you don't know what the fuck you're doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I can always salute my wife. I was talking about my wife and her graduating college and getting her bachelor's in criminal justice. Man, she read me them papers even when I don't want to hear that shit. She read me them papers, man. And I'm like, man, hey, it's a whole different, you know what I'm saying? It's a whole different level from when I remember her in junior college, community college, and I'm over here to do a fucking work for her. You know what I'm saying? When she first started, man. Like, it's a whole different ball game when motherfucker gotta really put they work in, and ain't nobody writing my papers no more. Ain't nobody doing it because, you know what I'm saying? That's effort level more than it is intelligence. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta necessarily be the most intelligent motherfucker. You just gotta be consistent and you know what I'm saying, ready to meet the mark. You know what I'm saying? Stay determined at a consistent level in college, bro. Because it's a lot of reading. It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? Like, when we was talking about the reading decline earlier, yeah, motherfuckers gotta start, you know what I'm saying, picking up a book too, not just reading through articles or watching videos and shit, but like definitely reading. You gotta pick to read some articles instead of just getting a video every time. And I usually do the videos for myself because you know what I'm saying. I mean, I be reading, and I ain't necessarily say I'm a bad reader, but I just can't. I ain't gonna say I can't read out loud, but I tend to, you know what I'm saying, throw in my little, I don't know, add words, like the know I'm saying and know I'm talking about, and the shit shows and that type of shit. I'll say that a lot to fill in my spaces, and I'm trying to get better with that. So I mean, earlier we read some of the article with and see like that right there. Sometimes you just can't help it. You just end up doing it anyway. But that's real talk. But like, I'll read this one article right here from Reuters. They say, let me read it. Because they be trying to make a nigga pay for their damn shit. Saying Trump to speak to Putin. Zelensky wants to end the bloodbath. Russian conditions go further than U.S. proposal. Source says. Kremlin says negotiations need to remain private, which is, hey, we already know. We don't want Trump behind the scenes too much with no damn Putin, man. I feel like Putin has already gotten to Trump in the first time, man. Like, people can say what they want about the Russian shit. I would definitely believe Russian collusion is a real thing. You can tell me it's hoax all you want to, but you can't have that many people literally, you know what I'm saying, getting money from certain people that's in the Kremlin or doing dealings with people in the Kremlin, in Russia, working in certain little circles, even if it's 6 degrees of separation a little bit. Okay, they're not directly in the government, but they do this and the government constantly gets their records or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It's all that type of shit when it came to a lot of that shit, man. Everybody that was arrested definitely had some kind of connection with Russia. Or not yeah, I guess you could say arrest, because some of them did go to jail. But they all got pardoned eventually anyway. Because, Trump, he takes care of the people that take care of him, So, and hey, there's nothing wrong with it necessarily if you're talking about just that attribute. But in the grand scheme of things, we talking about a president that's aligning with a power that we've been in direct adversarial, competition in so many ways for, hundreds of years. I mean, well, at least 100 years for sure with the Cold War. And, with the Cold War up, it's definitely been years of us going after anything Russian based and, in a strategic way, of course, doing all these proxies all over the Middle East. This Ukraine shit we got going on now. What's up, son? I know you was coming back. Yeah, okay. Man, what's up, bro? Like I told you, just a little bit longer. Almost at my 2-hour mark. So just give me a second and then we can play, all right? Now go back to your room with this shit, man. Please. All of it. Please, Daddy. You gonna do me like that. You know what, y'all, man? I got to go. And it's when people start coming in this mug is when, I got to tap out. Because my son done wore me down. And y'all didn't give a fuck long enough to come bring y'all ass in the beginning. But I'm fucking with y'all. Salute to everybody coming in. Y'all hit that like button. Shit. I done talked a little bit about everything, man. Y'all gonna probably have to hit the replay on it. Salute to Joe, man, for coming in, man. Look, it's the dog's going to shoot the dog cushion. Nah, you need to start shooting shit, man. This is what I'm talking about. You ain't even got your little Nerf bullets in this mug in the first place. But you always trying to make your animals shoot each other. That's why I say these kids, man, and I literally don't never show my son none of that type of shit, bro. Like, he can't watch TV with me when I'm watching my little shows and shit. And this nigga just over here wanting to have his animals shooting shit, man. Like, I'm gonna have to be on his ass all the time. All the time, ain't I? I'm gonna have to be watching you, huh? Don't start shooting like us die. What? You heard that? I think he should die. He's shooting and dying. That's what this man talking about, man. All right. But y'all, I'm out, man. Y'all be cool out there. Much love, man. I'm gonna be back with it probably later on today sometime or maybe tonight. You know what I'm saying? After I put his ass to bed. Yeah. Sleep time. Now we're ready for a nap. But yeah, man, y'all be cool, man. Oh, don't do my